to any replayers. If you're a replayer, don't forget you can still participate. You can tap on the screen for hearts, and if you have questions that you weren't able to ask during the broadcast, you can find me on Twitter at joannazarach or on Snapchat at joannazarach, and you can just ask your question on video, which is so easy to do. Anyhow, hello to my live viewers. If you're joining live, welcome. My name is Joanna Zarach, and I am doing a broadcast every single day of the week, 7 days a week. I do a broadcast on money habits, and I started doing them in October, and I decided to do a money habits broadcast every day of the week, 7 days a week. And if you've been joining for a while, you know that there's a theme to these. Each day is a different theme. Each day of the week has a theme. So welcome to Wednesday. Wednesday is Walk the Walk Wednesday. So on Tuesdays, we talk about a task. I come up with a financial task. Hi Melissa. I talk about financial task, and then on Wednesday, I talk about how I fared on that financial task, right? Sometimes it's a, it's a sort of a long-term overview of your money. Sometimes it's just a really specific thing that you can do to help you with getting a handle on your money, right? So all of these, they all have a theme, and no, I don't. I'm not a fan. The things that you do with money, and all of it is to try to get you guys to understand, not just develop better money habits, but also the money mindsets. So, hi, I'm just forgetting. Tess, yes, hi. And I am, so it's about getting your money mindsets and your money habits. Hi, how are you? And so the thing that we talked about yesterday is looking around in your life and starting to make a list. And this is why it's so important. So everything that we do with money and everything, I'm doing great, thank you. It's a beautiful Wednesday. It's a little chilly in Chicago, but it's a beautiful, when it's sunny, when the sun shines through, it really cheers me up, because in the Midwest we get a lot of dark days. So when the sun shines through, it makes me happy. So I'm a human being, and responding to I'm doing well. I respond to the light as well. So anyway, back to the topic. So found money, and we went through the list, and actually I have my list. So I went through and started making, looking for all the found money that I have. And so let me just run through the list. And the idea is that there is money in your life. And again, the further you get in life, the more you'll notice those, right? So if you're really young and you're like, well, what do you mean by money lying around? But you accumulate these things over time, whether it's just things that come into your life, or just, accounts. Like, your financial life will get more complex, and it won't stop getting complex. It'll become more and more complex in different ways as you get older. And that's why money habits is so important, because setting a foundation that helps you manage your money and helps you manage that life early on. So whatever stage in life you are, and if you think it's like, oh, this is really complicated, how am I going to tackle it? This is the time, because it's only going to get more complex. And a lot of time people come to me in a crisis situation, or, when they're trying to solve a really big problem. And what I'm really encouraging people to do is to start paying attention to their money when things are going well, right? When you feel like, woohoo, I have a job, everything's going well, my relationships are good. When things are going well, this is the time to take some of that energy, some of the positive energy, and focus into developing a money habits, having a money plan, and start paying attention to it. Because again, money brings people a lot of anxiety. A lot of people have like I call it math trauma, where they think like, oh, I'm not good at math, so I can't manage money. And it is absolutely not true. Please never believe that. And second of all, if you had someone in your life in your past give you that feedback that you're not good at math, I'm sorry that they did that, because math is a skill, not a talent. Math is something that you develop, and by the way, you don't really have to be good at math. You just need to use the tools. There's so many tools available that make math accessible and kind of take it out of the equation, so to speak. So Anyway, spiel over. So the found money that I wanted to talk about are certain categories. So one of the things that a lot of people can relate to is gift cards or coupons. So cash that is in your possession, but it doesn't look like cash. And I think sometimes we devalue things that aren't like the crisp bills. And that's why some methodologies get people to just use cash or using the envelope method. There are a lot of methodologies that bring you to that core relationship, to that crisp money. And I know that that's effective. But my challenge to that is that in today's world, like digital and credit cards and all that, it's not sustainable to just use cash. So what you need to learn, is how to recognize other sources of money, of value, and then make sure you're utilizing it. So the first one is gift cards. Gift cards or coupons, anything that you're prepaid for. So here's, I'll show you guys. This will be a little bit of a demo. This is where you'll go, oh, what the hell? So here are some of my, okay. So this is like, my found money. And I've gotten, these are a bunch of gift cards that I have. And this is all money, but I don't see it as money, right? Because it's just like plastic and it belongs to a certain institution, right? So as we know, gift cards have become super popular as gifts. So you can see this is like a stack of gift cards that I have. Boop. And, have to figure out, like, make sure that I'm utilizing it, right? So this stack of gift cards, right? This stack of gift cards, they have value, right? But some of them I've had for a really long time because I sometimes don't remember to use them. Like, you have to be really mindful. So one of the things I've done is I carry them in my purse or my bag. I don't actually have a purse; it's more of a computer bag. But I carry them with them so that if I'm going to go ahead and shop, I'm going to use them. I'm also started concentrating them, like when I'm going to get and I'll talk about points, when I trade them for points, that I'll do that. The trouble is that I have some paper cards, some paper certificates. Here, I'll show you those. So these large paper certificates are actually like a bit more challenging to use because like I don't carry those, right? So you have to have the plan. And the thing is though, maybe you can the other thing is maybe you'll recognize the value that you'll never use them. Maybe you can give them to someone who lives closer to that store or shops in that store and you can get some value. So I started making a Wunderlist of all of my gift cards and gift certificates so I can start using them. Okay. The other area of found money that I have, and you may have, are benefit accounts. So what are benefit accounts? We've talked a lot about benefit accounts. If benefit accounts are available through your job, please take advantage of them because of the tax the tax rate that you're going to get. Now, what it does create is that you need to follow through on extracting that money, right? So I have a claim that I need to make for last year for my FSA. So I think I have until March 31st, but I just got the last bill. I don't know, it took them a month, like a month and a half to send me this last bill for the kid's dentist. So now I have it on my to-do list. So the way I try to capture and pay attention, look after my small money is to make a little Wunderlist and say, what is the next step? Like, what is it that I need? And then, if you can just make a routine out of it. And again, it's hard to make a routine out of some of these things, going to only come up once or twice a year, right? But the thing is too, if you have one of those accounts, to ask yourself, do I have a receipt that I can submit to start taking that money out now? So what we're trying to get is create flow of that small money to sort of inject itself into how you manage your just regular cash, right? Because that's simple. This other stuff gets a little bit lost. The other benefit accounts that I have already started funding my my childcare FSA, and I think sometimes people wait. They're like, well, I'm just going to wait till it builds up. And I think shift forward and submit the receipts before you even build up the account so that it just becomes automated. Like a lot of times it's direct deposits available from those. So once you submit that first, month or two receipts, then you just, start forwarding yourself the money. Start getting that money sooner than you need it, right? So don't wait till you're running out. Like a lot of times people are like, oh my God, my balance is low. What can I do? And like, oh, they remember. I'm like, oh, I have this FSA. Like I need to submit it. And then it'll take a few days and all of a sudden you feel like that money's not there, and so you're going to hesitate next time, because that tax favored accounts are a really big source of increasing your overall net worth. 260. I haven't quite totaled my found money. I have a lot of FSA accounts, so we're talking like multiple thousands of dollars for me. But just because of those benefit accounts, right? Like, so if I submit the FSA for last year, that was still $1,000 left in it because it's money I paid, right? And so like, it's found money and sounds like a lot, but it's like, it's created. Yeah, just cards. Yeah, my cards. That's probably, we're talking like $500 in my gift cards. The other benefit account that I have an FSA, and I was like, oh, last year I did it with summer camp, but this year I'm already paying for after school, so I already have a receipt that I can submit. So it's literally taking the time, and it would be just 15 minutes. So sometimes I have to be like, this is only going to take 15 minutes, and I will literally take a timer and time it, and sometimes it's a little longer, but just forcing myself to spend 15 minutes on that activity that'll, once it's put into the system, that money will come in and take care of it. Taxes, right? We're in tax season, and again, two things with taxes. If you have a tax refund you qualify for, file your taxes sooner rather than later, and I'm super guilty of this, to wait till not just April 15, but getting an extension and doing in October. So my goal is to get smarter about my estimating, and also to get that filed right away. Because like last year, I overpaid on my Illinois taxes for sure, because I had the wrong percentage. Don't ask me. I'm not perfect. And then also taxes. If you have taxes being withdrawn from your paycheck and you need a bit more money, it might be smarter. And again, you need a money plan for it. So it's not just extra spending money, right? But it's a money that you're doing something with. If you're always getting a big refund, I would recommend for you to up your W-4 exemptions. It is not like you cannot, like, you can put whatever number you want on the exemptions. I think people misunderstand how W-4 form works, and they say, well, it's just me and my spouse and 2 kids, so it's 4 exemptions. But then you end up getting a $5,000 tax refund every year. You could have used that money earlier, especially if you're having trouble paying bills, right? Paycheck to paycheck situation, or if you have credit card debt. Again, be very mindful and make a plan for how you're going to use that extra $100 a paycheck or $50 a paycheck if you change your W-4. But I would encourage you to kind of use this like translator for every exemption. Your refund's going to go down by $1,000. And so that's the other thing. Like, don't plan for the refund to pay for your big expenditures. Really have a money plan that actually takes your money and puts it away for you and go into investing. Tax favored accounts preferably. Stuff. So I haven't done the list of stuff. I know I have this KitchenAid mixer that I never use, and it costs like, it was a wedding gift, right? It was $300, but it just sits there, and I feel bad for the mixer because it's not being used. And so I feel like that's something I could sell. So like, you can, if you don't like selling things, maybe set an amount, say, well, anything that's worth more than $50, maybe I sell, and everything else I'll donate. So that's what I need to do, is like make a list. Things you pay for because you might need them, but you're not really using them. So I've decided that I'm going to get rid of the office that I rent for my business because I just never go there. Ever since my kids went to school full time, I'm working from home more and more. That's like $420 a month. I have an alternative that I'm going to use just in case I need to get out of house, but it's going to be only $120 a month. It's going to be much cheaper. Same with my e-fax. I think I read a meme yesterday that said do you have a fax number? And they were like, no, I don't accept faxes. Like, how come? Because it's it's the 21st century or something like that. And I'm like, you know what? It's right. Like, really, like, we need to do away with faxes and the fax numbers and the cost that it costs to maintain them. It's only like $8 a month that I've been paying, but really, it's $100 a year for nothing. So I need to cancel that. I need to cancel SurveyMonkey. I need to, we're not going to get into the storage unit. Well, you've talked about that. But things you pay for because you might need them. We have a TiVo unit upstairs in the TV that we never use, and just like we have it, and we literally don't use it. But what if someday we want to? No, we need to make those decisions and get rid of it. And then the last one was reward points. So I have enough points in my American Express to redeem them for some gift cards. And again, you got to have a system. So I just redeem them for my my Banana Republic cards, and then I might need a Home Depot card because I always like having a Home Depot card because when we go, when I have a Home Depot card, I do end up using it for just like those purchases that you need something from the hardware store. And then for my Citibank thank you card cards when I get to 10,000, which I think I might be at now. I'm going to redeem it for Starbucks cards. And I think now they have an e-card, so I can just directly load it into my Starbucks app so that I don't have to deal with the physical, like get the card, put the numbers in, and get it. Although Starbucks is really good. It's really nice redeeming iTunes cards and redeeming Starbucks cards. It's really awesome. For iTunes, like you literally take a picture of your iTunes card and like recognizes it. I find like anything that eases that process is great. So also sometimes find like how are you not shortcutting to get that money into your money flow, right? To get it into the cash flow, whether it's direct deposit, whether it's taking advantage of your mobile banking solution, like instead of going to the bank. Yeah, right. I have a ton in my iTunes account when I stopped using it because I was like, oh, iTunes, and it's some of them that you never lose, right? So what's nice about some of those, like iTunes, it's in my iTunes account, so I don't have to have a physical card and track it. So I might be like, okay, the iTunes credit won't die, and like if I want to buy music or if I want to buy an app, it's like boom, it's paid for, right? And so it's nice to have that that stash of money where you can draw from it, right? Yeah, like take a picture of it and it gets in your iTunes account. So again, it's taking that money and creating and making it accessible for how you use it, right? We have a bunch of cash because my husband came back from his they did fantasy football and like he won the pool, I think, and then the guy just gave it to him in cash and so because they were in like Vegas and they were like the other guys were gambling, and it's like he came home with all this cash and I was like like I guess I could deposit it in the bank, and I've never done it. Like, so if you've never done something, remember the first time you do anything, it seems like you're just not sure how it's going to work out. So sometimes it's about like playing it all the way out. It's like, okay, it's going to be okay. I'm going to do this or that. Any change in your habits is actually really hard, right? So that's why when you develop good money habits and you develop a money system, it takes care of a lot of those the resistance. I call it resistance. And resistance is just kind of this internal, like the uncertainty of how it's exactly going to work out. And I guess I'm very aware of my own resistance. That's why I use tricks like timers or lists where I say, okay, let me break it down. Like, what are the steps I'm going to take to actually accomplish it? And then once you do it, it's fine. And that's why money habits is so important, because if you do it every day, you don't have to overcome resistance, right? You don't have to make a decision about it. You're like, this is something I do. So that's the found money. And again, let me see, I have it on I'll show you my Wunderlist just to show you. And this one has a couple other things because but here, I'll show you so I have my like use money laying around list, and you can see I started putting all of these, lists, because they're like these rewards too that expire. And by the way, like rewards, and I talk about miles and points, but I also have banana rewards, and those things expire. And I know they're like meant to get you in the store more, but sometimes you just need to make sure that if you need something or your kids need something, that you just go to the store where you can redeem it. So you can see a lot of this like February plans a lot of them are financials, like pay real estate taxes, right? Like important, but also just keeping track. Like I donated 8 textbooks. You can see, like I have Emerald City Theatrics. People give you stuff and then you have to do things with them. That have this health savings account. See, I keep forgetting about it. It has a few $1,000s in it, and we need to figure out how to extract. I call it extract it. Contribute to our IRAs. Develop this finances. So. That's how I do it. I'm using my Wunderlist because it's accessible on my phone, so I don't have to be like, where did I put it? Where did I write it down? And it's been really effective in helping me do that. But a lot of times you just have to plan for it. You just have to be like, okay, the next time I need like workout pants. Here's my Old Navy, $10 that I got to use somehow, right? And so you got to make a plan. You got to be clear, and you inject yourself. Oh, look, and I found this today. It's like Gap Cash. So it's $25. So I could say, okay, if I need to, I wanted to get another pair of jeans. And, here's a way in which I can make that purchase less, right? And so this is, again, when I talk about small money, but your relationship to small money will actually impact your relationship with big money. And well, it's twofold. One is because I do talk about the returns on your investments and how little people don't realize that money doesn't make as much money as you think. Like the utility of money when you spend it is actually far greater for a lot of people than what they realize for investments. So again, your $100,000 investment, if you have $100,000 invested, it only makes $25 a day. So if you take this $25 Gap Cash card, for example, and you were already going to purchase something, so again, don't use it. I let a lot of these go, because if I don't have a purposeful thing to buy, I'm not going to go to the store to shop. I'm going to go to the store to buy, right? So if I'm going to buy a $50 pair of jeans, I'm going to use this $25. This is, if I can leverage this, this promotion that they have to lower the cost of acquisition, all of a sudden, it's like having $100,000 in the bank that made in the investment that made you $25 to that day. So I'm talking about small money because small money helps your big money. It helps it grow. It's like you've got to figure out how to help your big money, how to help it work harder. So your money works hard. That's the thing. Even if you acquire, if you've been diligent, this is something you need to accept and you need to embrace, that the big money that you may have, like once you acquire it, you need to help your big money by figuring out how to manage your small money. And that's why it's so important to get that all this money that's sitting around into your cash flow, right? Because when you go and the market's, let's see what's the market doing today. Anybody following the market? Let's just check. I haven't checked the market yet, and it's like halfway through, right? Because it's 11:30 Eastern time. And our market's a little bit up, right? It's been down. It's up by like 0.3%. But, it's like the market volatility when it's below 16,000. I feel like that's a Dow. And I watched the Dow. This is the number I remember easiest. When the market's below 16,000, that's a buying opportunity, right? So you want to have that cash available, put it all together so that you can put it into your investment when the market's low. And that's like what motivates me, where it's like I'm going to get to invest money. So I want to gather all this little money and I want to put it into my cash flow so that I can make those investments, whether it's my kids' 529 plans, and it's not all like big. Like I don't do big chunks. I just do a little bit at a time. And so when you have that, when you make that money available to yourself by spending less on the things you need, by using, maybe someone needs a gift and you have a gift card, and instead of buying them, going out the store and buying more stuff, you say, make a nice card. If you have kids, by the way, I highly recommend the homemade cards. Cards can be like $3-4 if you buy a nice card. So make a card. It's a little more personal. And then put a gift card in there, then you've leveraged your money and you didn't go out and spend on a gift. If it's a kid, then obviously buy them a gift. They don't appreciate gift cards unless they're older and you're buying them iTunes gift cards, right? Like that could be a plan. You'd be like, oh, I don't know what to do with these gift cards. If you have rewards programs, maybe convert them into iTunes cards, just have or Starbucks cards like at $10 intervals, and then you have teacher gifts and you have, your nephew or your niece or kids when they get teenagers, they're like, don't give me stuff. You don't know what my taste, I want my iTunes card. So they will value that at some point. So have a plan on how to use that small money so that you can keep more of your cash flow to make the investments and to pay for the things that will help your money grow and retain and keep your money, right? Like the whole idea, everything I do, everything I talk about is to encourage people, once you've conquered sort of the income equation, and just figure out how to keep more of your money, because that's really the leverage you're going to get long term to build financial. There's no trick, there's no secret, but if you just start keeping more of your money and investing it, and sort of putting it away, and we talked a little bit about that yesterday. Investment is just, if you're an investor, it gives a purpose for your money other than spending it. And it's really, really important to have a purpose for your money and be purposeful. And when you're involved in investing, it's not something that you have to do, it's something you get to do, right? And it's so you're like, woohoo, I get to invest and I get to make these choices and I get to pick from a stock and I get to research it instead of seeing it as a chore. So that's I will be reporting to you guys how my money extraction works. Again, there's just all these little things, right? And it'll 15 minutes at a time. So spend 15 minutes on filing your claim or filing something. Taxes will take longer. But if you have gift cards, make sure they're all in one place. Bring them with you whenever you can, or just know where they are. So before you go out running for shopping, just say, okay, I have these gift cards, can I use them? Or next time you're planning a family activity, if you have some movie tickets, right? See, can I use those? Can I leverage it? Can I pay for this Panera meal? I actually had some Panera gift cards. So again, go get them for where you're going to frequent, and then think of them not as extra money, but as money that's replacing what you otherwise would have spent in cash. And I think that's a really big differential when sometimes people see it as extra money and they're like, well, I would have spent $50 and now I have the extra $50 gift card, so I'm going to go ahead and spend $100, instead of saying, well, I was going to buy this pair of jeans, and instead of spending $50, now it cost me $25. And again, reducing that outflow when you can. So thank you everyone who joined. Good luck with your found money and your small money. And again, build a relationship with small money, because it can build up to let you do something where it becomes significant, right? And if you start thinking in those bigger chunks of money and allocating it to investments and not just emergency savings. And I know emergency savings is important, but it's the investing mentality and an investor mentality that's really going to get you away from the, like, my money's burning my pocket and I need to spend it on something. So this concludes our broadcast. I will see you guys tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. And I think we're going to talk about, I wrote it something. I think I'm going to talk about rounding errors. Tomorrow morning. Like, what's your rounding error? Everyone needs to figure out where their level, where you are in your progress of your financial life should really determine what your rounding error is, and means how closely do you need to pay attention to your cash flow, depending how big your cash flow is. And so we're going to talk about rounding errors tomorrow, like what your mental rounding error is and what it needs to be, right? Most likely, you need to be paying closer attention to smaller amounts of money as it's leaving your as it's leaving your bank account or your hands. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you everyone for joining. I really appreciate it. And we'll catch you then. Bye.